Sorry about that, folks. I was just trying to get the focus in. But you hear it down below. You see it down below. DC's original animated universe gets its first R-rated movie. That's right. We've been hoping for it. We've been hoping they would get it because of the fact that this is one of the most controversial graphic novels, stories that DC has ever done. And that it's one of those stories that if you were to bring it to life in animated form, there is no doubt you have to go with the R rating. And that's exactly what's happened. DC's original animated universe has done just that. They achieved the R rating. Now, according to what it says, it's been done for some disturbing images and I think violence or something like that. But it's got its R rating. It's got its R rating. Now I know a lot of people, I looked at the trailer today, the official trailer, which looks really good. You need to check that out. But basically, I understand some people are a little mixed about the animation because it looks like it's supposed to be a blend of original animation and the animation style of the animated series back in the 1990s. And you know what? You can't really blame Warner Brothers for doing that. Because basically you're taking the animated series characters and you're putting them in a more mature setting. Basically in an alternate universe kind of setting. Yeah, alternate universe. Hear me out. You see, one of the things I've noticed with my figures that I've been collecting is it says DC multi-universes. Now, in case you've been paying attention to the comics, it seems DC has ended or will end or has ended its New 52 timeline or arc to the point that it's now just another one of the multi-universes out there. So basically that is why this is set in one of those multi-universes. Because if you take a look at the ending of Bad Blood, you take a look at other alternate universes, you'll know that Batgirl, Barbara Gordon, is still alright. Barbara Gordon is still Batgirl in a majority of these universes. There are some she's Oracle, but there are some where she's Batgirl, and I think maybe there's some where she's Batwoman. I'm not really sure. But she is still Batgirl in a majority of these. There's just some where she's Oracle. The Killing Joke, is one of those universes that starts her path to being Oracle. Now, when one thinks about DC's animated universe movies getting these PG-13 ratings and near R ratings, you think about movies like Gods and Monsters. You think about movies and adaptations of The Dark Knight Returns. You think of movies like that. You think of Flashpoint Paradox. And you say to yourself, man, with all the gruesome imagery and all that, why didn't this get an R rating? You take a look at Assault on Arkham, and you say to yourself, why didn't it get an R rating? And I think it's because DC was always walking that fine line about what they could create from an original standpoint and what they can adapt into a new animated film. They were always walking that fine line like, okay, are we going to cross that line and get the R rating? Or are we just going to still remain balanced and get a PG-13 rating? And when I believe, excuse me, and when I think that, okay, let me see how I'm trying to say this. And when I think the idea when I believe the idea came up to do The Killing Joke, they knew that was going to probably have them cross that line. They knew they were going to probably end up crossing that line and getting the R rating. Yeah, I think that when they sat down and discussed, because that's what I was looking for. That was how I was looking how to say it. Well, I think when they sat down and discussed what their future animated universe movie projects would be, and The Killing Joke came up, I'm pretty sure that went through Bruce Timm's mind and everybody else that's worked on this movie's mind, and they probably realized this could be the one that does it. This could be the one that makes us cross that line into R-rated territory. And if it does just that, then all bets are off for future DC animated universe movies, and perhaps even Marvel animated movies. Because now the gloves are off. The gloves are literally off for this movie. Not this movie, but for anything that's possible, for any kind of adaptation. And I think when you try to stay faithful to what to the original concept, you want to do whatever it takes to stay faithful to it, but you also know that if you're going to stay faithful to it, you're going to probably cross that line. And I think that's exactly what happened, and I believe they knew it was going to happen. They knew it was going to happen. We as fans, when we heard the announcement that The Killing Joke was going to get made into a film, animated film, we knew they were going to cross the line just with that. I'm pretty sure you asked Angry Joe, you asked Linkara, anybody that's read The Killing Joke, or has heard about it, looked into it, read it somehow online or whatever, they will all tell you that this could be the one, if not will be the one, that makes them cross that line into R-rated territory, and it does. It does cause them to do that. Now I'm pretty sure a lot of people were always questioning when it would be. What movie, what animated universe movie by DC was going to make them do it? And like I said, when they did Dark Knight Returns, they did Assault on Arkham, Flashpoint Paradox, just to name a few. Doom, Justice League Doom, maybe. Well, maybe not that, but Under the Red Hood. Majority of all these Batman-related ones and some of the Justice League ones, you know, you always kept wondering, okay, what's going to make them cross that line? What's going to make them cross that line into R-rated territory? Even Gods and Monsters probably brought up that question. And I'm sure when Dark Knight Returns was announced, people were asking, will that one be it? Will that make them get an R rating with that adaptation? When Gods and Monsters was announced and described as what it was going to be like, pretty sure everybody asked that question too. Would that be the one that did it? You know, Under the Red Hood, Assault on Arkham. Everybody kept wondering, which one will it be? And then this was it. This one is the one that did it. This one, above all else, this one I think that came out around the same time, if not after, Frank Miller's The Dark Knight Returns, is the one that did it. I think it came out afterwards. I think it did. But this is the one that did it. Because of what was involved, the way this story goes. This is the one that did it. And now, like I said, all gloves are off. Everything you've known about Batman, about any DC animated movie to come, the gloves are off. Any adaptation that they could come up with next, the gloves are off. Any original animated movie they could come up with, any original idea, gloves are off. Think about it. They could come up with, think about this. This opens the door now for them to come up with anything. Blackest Night. Blackest Night. Linkara did a review on that recently, a Patreon review. Louis Lumberg, Linkara did a Patreon review on just that story, Blackest Night. The gloves are off now. They could do a Blackest Night adaptation. And they could get away with it. They could. They could get that R rating. They could do it. I mean, they could do an Injustice animated film. And they could probably get an R rating. The point is, the glove, anything is possible now. Anything is possible. And it's, like I said, it's not just limited to DC anymore. DC basically kicked the door open, if you will, with the Killing Joke adaptation. And now anything's possible. Marvel now has an opportunity to take some of the most violent, if not controversial stories and say, hey, let's do this one, let's adapt it and make an R rating. Or they can come up with any original idea and say, you know what, we can go this far now because DC did it, let's do it. You might say Disney won't allow that. This is Disney we're talking about, right? This is the same company that when they did the Pirates of the Caribbean series, every movie in that series has had a PG-13 to near R rating. You know that, right? And they pretty much have allowed Marvel to do what they want with their own studios and everything, right? So you pretty much know they could do it. They could. The point is, DC has kicked the door open. Like I said, they have literally kicked that door open, and now the gloves are off for anything to be made or adapted. And you guys know it's true. You know it's true. I know it's true. The question is, what will they do next after Killing Joke? Will they do Blackest Night? What is the next new 52 story that they could adapt and put into continuity, put into context? What could be next? You see, those are the questions that get arise now, or getting asked now. What could be the next one that continues this trend? Continues getting them the R rating. What could they come up with? What could come out of the minds of Bruce Timm and those involved? What could come out of the mind? What kind of stories could they make or adapt that could probably get them another R rating? Anything's possible now. But honestly, DC, I applaud you. You got what you wanted. The trailer is great. I'm not going to say any more than you guys got to see the trailer. But I applaud you, DC, Bruce Timm, and all those involved. You got it. You achieved your goal. The question is, how are you going to top this? What's next on your plate? What next original animated movie will we get from an original idea? Or what new animated movie will we get that's adapted from an established graphic novel or story arc? Let me know down below. You guys answer that question. Let me know down below. Comment if you like. I give you credit, DC. You did it. And I cannot wait to see the Killing Joke. God bless. Take care.